All right, it's Matt Heaton here on the Bouzouki. Going to talk to you briefly about minor keys. So I'm in GD80 tuning, and let's say that I have to play an E minor, and I'm like, ooh, E minor. Well, there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and this. It's not that I wouldn't say that it is the strong point of this tuning. So that brings in the capo, right? So if I want to use, I am not a quick capo changer. So in order for me to put a capo on, I'm going to have to be here for a while. But I would love to be here because it sounds better. Here are a couple thoughts on a couple minor keys. So if you are in the key, to talk about the minor keys, I'm first going to talk about the major keys. First, if you're in the key of D, the most important things you got to keep track of are that note right there, which is the major third. And it's the third because you're counting up 1, 2, 3. You can do a whole scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay. 7, 1, and then you start to play in different modes and keys and stuff. You start altering that scale. First thing, like a Mixolydian scale has a flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat 7, 1. A minor key has a flat third, 1, 2, 3, flat 3, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So that's a Dorian mode, which is pretty common. 1, 2, flat 3, third fret, 4, 5, 6, flat 7 on the third fret, 1. Okay. So when you're playing your like if we were in D minor, you can do sort of the same sort of moves you might do in D major, but you have to keep in mind that you're playing a flatted 3 and a flatted 7. So then if I wanted to play in E minor, I would put on a capo on the 2nd fret. You see it takes me like 30 seconds to do. I would put a capo on the 2nd fret, and I would remember those moves. I would play 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. And then you can go below it, flat 7, 6, 5, 4. So I mean, if we're playing something like Coolies, and so when I'm doing these top 2 strings, I'm just kind of beating time on them, really. That's, I mean, I made the other video about some of those patterns. I think of it like if the instrument were a drum set, that'd be like your ride cymbal, right? You're just kind of like keeping time on that. It's not necessarily the most interesting thing that's going on. The lower moving notes, I think, are the more interesting thing. So you maybe would emphasize those a little bit. So, yeah, so that's, I mean, if it's a situation where you can't put on a capo, right, because maybe it's in a set of tunes that, everything else is, it's like D, G, D, G, E minor, and you got this one tune. So then you just then you might have to just tough it out, but you kind of have the same approach, right? You can kind of, problem with this is when you take it off, it like mutes everything for just a split second, which I find kind of interruptive. So I might, you know, do something where I'm playing that flat, that 7 in there all the time, the D. Which can be a little bit smoother. It's important to be able to do both. You need to be able to play it without a capo because you're not always going to be able to get the capo on. But there is no reason in the world not to use a capo when you can, because it sounds awesome. So I would experiment around with both. The main things you want to remember for your minor keys: flat 3, flat 7. The 6th is for another video. But flat 3 and flat 7, all of your minor keys are going to have a flat 3 and a flat 7. If you play a regular 3, then it's major. And if you play a regular 7, then it's weird. Just then you end up with like... start getting that like kind of harmonic minor sound, which is a lovely thing, but perhaps not for trad music. Okay, that's all I've got for you for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave a comment down below. And thank you for listening, and thank you to Shannon for letting me borrow her YouTube channel. Take care.